Welcome to CLIC Connect. I'm your host, Craig Sullivan. And guess what? We've got a new guest. Mike MacManus is joining the conversation today. And we're talking about bed bugs. Why? Because nobody else is. So, Mike, how are you, my friend? Good to see you.
Craig, thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be on today, and it's an honor to be here.
It's our pleasure. Mike, let's just jump right into this. Would you tell the audience about yourself and your company, please?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Mike MacManus. I'm the Director of Marketing for Freedom Organicides. And Freedom Organicides is an all-natural bed bug repellent that was introduced to the market back in 2018. And it has a 100% mortality rate on existing bed bugs and a 90-day residual. So it's a preventative spray that's just keeping bed bugs out of hotels, multifamily, and people's lives when they travel.
There we go. And we definitely do not want bed bugs when we travel, and we're all just getting back on the road right now.
Yeah.
So, Mike, you said this is all organic.
Yes, sir.
So it's something that both the hotels can buy your product and the consumer at large can. So let's talk about hospitality's dirty little secret, okay? What's going on there? How are hotels, they're being wrongfully blamed for this hitchhiking bug. So could you talk about that a little bit?
Oh,
especially since hotels are cleaner now than what they've ever been. So
absolutely. And it's so important in hospitality that, especially coming out of COVID, that peace of mind is the new luxury. And prior to COVID, over the past 8 years, bed bugs were classified as an epidemic in the United States. And the problem was not only controlling the pest, but also preventing the pest. Because it's a hitchhiker bug, and hotels are wrongly blamed for the hotels, because when you speak to a guest that gets bed bugs, the first thing they do is blame the hotel. And it's not like the hotel is sprinkling bed bugs in once a week. The bug is a hitchhiking bug, and it clings onto our luggage, and in some cases our clothes. So the travelers are the ones bringing them into the hotels, and the hotels have a difficult time because it's a PR issue if it goes public, and the increase of social media and guests posting their complaints and reviews on the hotels, and it's been a headache for the hotels that get blamed. So what we kind of saw was an opportunity for us to really start to educate and prevent not only travelers, but the hotels, hoteliers, hotel owners, and management and staff, and the best practices to prevent this from happening. And it's kind of a team effort on both sides. So it's been a big challenge for the hotels, and the hotels were doing a wonderful job back in 2019 putting together bed bug prevention plans.
Right.
And, a pandemic will take priority over bed bugs. But now that we're reopening, prevention is more important than ever.
I agree with you. I think, it's all about, preventive maintenance. It's, this has to be done. And with all the pinned up demand, now, social media being what it is, TripAdvisor and various other platforms, bad reviews will spread like wildfire.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. Now, I think you've got some statistics on what kind of costs are associated to hospitality due to this infestation when that happened.
Absolutely. So back in 2019, 8 out of every 10 hotels in the United States had at least one incident of bed bugs, with an average cost of $6,400 per incident. And that's to get rid of the bug. And if you there's roughly 55,000 hotels in the United States. That's 46,000 hotels. That's over $290 million a year that is spent on fighting this insect. And when we looked at that, and the more managers and hoteliers that we spoke with, the frustration came from, to get rid of the bug, if there's a room with bed bugs, they bring in heaters and heat the room up.
Right.
And in order to do that, you need to heat not only that room, but the surrounding rooms. That's a huge cost on the hotel. And the biggest frustration that hoteliers had was, after we've gotten rid of the problem and we have a clean room, the next guest could be bringing in bed bugs right behind them. So
Right.
there really wasn't a preventative stage right there where we could prevent more bed bugs from coming in and creating infestations. And that's where we positioned ourselves.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think your key is to know your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
You want to touch on that a little bit for us, please?
Absolutely. And this is the itchy part. Bed bugs are survivalists, and they feed off of human blood. So what they are doing is, and that's obviously the term bed bugs. There's actually two things I respect out of a bed bug. Number one, they don't discriminate. They don't care what hotel they stay in, whether it's a roadside motel, a short-term rental, all the way to a five-star resort. They just want to be around the food. The other thing I respect out of them is they can go without feeding for over 180 days. I just ate 20 minutes ago and I'm already thinking about pizza. So, but what they do is when they smell carbon dioxide, what we breathe out when we're sleeping, that's their dinner bell. And that's when they come out. Okay. They're so small. A full-grown adult is about the size of an apple seed. So we don't feel them when they crawl on us. And when they bite us, in their saliva, they have an antiseptic that numbs our skin. So we don't feel the bite. And they also have an anticoagulant that will make sure our blood doesn't clot. And this is why, and this is why you see guests wake up with like 6 or 7 or 30 to 40 bites on them. The bugs will feed and then go back either in the mattress, behind the headboard, or somewhere to hide. And that's when they start breeding. And a female bed bug can lay 3 to 5 eggs per day. So one bug exponentially in 3 months can create an entire infestation.
That's scary. Now, obviously they're not discriminatory in which hotel they stay at, but I'm going to say off the top of my head that airport hotels and cruise ships are probably have a better chance of having an infestation than, suburban, select service or an urban core. Because if you've got people traveling into the country, out of the country, been running across the country, they always have a tendency of staying there at one of the airport hotels. Is that accurate?
Oh, absolutely. So with the increase of international travel in the United States and the more traffic that comes into the hotel, the greater the chances that our bed bugs are coming in. And that's where the danger for the guests come, because these bugs will just crawl right in your luggage. And in that case, some people take these bed bugs home with them. And once it gets in your house, it's extremely expensive and tedious to get rid of these.
Get rid of them. Absolutely. Okay, Mike, let's talk about, and let's get upbeat on this as much as possible.
Thank you.
How about peace of mind? That's got to be the new luxury. What are the protective methods, that you're seeing that you have to incorporate from the various hotel brands? Let's start there.
Absolutely. And the encouraging news is a lot of the major brands have started to implement bed bug prevention plans and programs. So they're starting to train their staff on how to, especially the housekeepers, which are the most important people in a hotel. They're being trained what to look for, what signs to look for. A lot of hotels are switching over from carpeted rooms to LVT flooring, which is another deterrent, because bed bugs don't really like to walk across hard surfaces. And that was very encouraging pre-COVID. And now they're starting to take just necessary steps to make sure prevention is top of mind when they're putting together the rooms and cleaning the rooms. And it really doesn't take that much to quickly inspect. Many hotels are now hiring canine units where they have bed bug sniffing dogs, which is well worth it and much less expensive than actually coming in with heaters. And that's where we positioned ourselves as well. So many brands, I'd say probably of the top 20 brands out there in the United States, there's 17 of the top 20 brands that are implementing bed bug prevention plans, which is very encouraging.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the importance of integrated pest management, control versus prevention.
Yes, sir. And that's another key element for a hotel, is to make sure that they have the right vendor in place, pest control vendor. And a very important aspect is a vendor that practices integrated pest management, or they call it IPM, where it's sectioned off in control, which is when you're trying to eliminate a pest. Prevention is the second arm, and that's where freedom is in the second arm. And then it's also the management side. So it's a different, I guess, ideology on how to deal with different pests. Freedom steps in on the prevention side, which you and everybody know that it's cheaper to prevent and prepare than it is to repent and repair. And
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, give the audience a little bit better clue of where Freedom Organicides fits into the overall picture. Can they have you out to the hotel? Do you help them with a survey? I mean, how in depth is it, or is it you ship them a case and it's reorder?
Yes.
You know, what's the program?
That is a great question, because we when we started out, we just started out here in Sacramento, California, and we're a very small company at the time. So I was going directly to the hotels with our product and introducing the product to them. So originally, it's a very simple process. It's a very simple way to use the process, our product. So in the beginning, it started out as, let's try this product. It's a very simple thing. It comes in a 9.2 ounce can, and it's essential oil based. So you shake the can, you spray a light mist on the mattress, the box spring behind the headboard, which is a very important spot, and underneath furniture. And then you can also spray it on a dry cloth and wipe down any baseboards or anywhere a bed bug will harbor. And it doesn't take that long to do. And one can usually treats 2 rooms. And that's when we started putting just online video how to use it. It's a very simple process to use. And I was introduced to the product before I even knew what a bed bug was. It's also an amazing mosquito repellent. Since it's all natural, you can wear it and put it on and apply it to your skin. And once we started talking to a few hotels and speaking with the director of housekeeping, they ended up basically figuring out better practices to use it. So over the course of time, we learned to put it behind the headboard, and we learned to, how to use it to spray it on a cloth and wipe down like a metal frame bed frame. And that we just learned within about 6 months after introducing that it's so simple to use, and it's saving. We now have hotels in Sacramento that were completely infested when we were introduced to them, and now they're 2.5 years of being bed bug free.
Nice, that's great. I like the idea that you can use this as a repellent if you're out in in a national park or somewhere else, glamping, any number of things.
Oh,
so you rented a motorhome, you can spray down everything, either before or after you pull off the lot, either way.
Yeah.
Personally, I think I'd spray it down before I pulled off the lot and make sure that they saw me doing it. So, but that's just me. But hey, Mike, I hate to say this, but we're out of time. Blink of an eye, my friend.
It goes quickly.
Time for a shameless plug. How can people get a hold of you?
Absolutely. You can find freedomorganicides.com direct. We're also available on HD Supply, as well as a couple other distributors coming up. And I could be found on LinkedIn all the time. That's how Craig and I connected. And we're just very excited for this next year, and we're so thrilled to not only be on the show but be a part of hospitality, because we're at a time right now where the people that are working in hospitality in my opinion, are the most important people on this planet right now.
Yeah.
And we just got to keep being patient, being kind, and creating peace of mind.
I agree with you, my friend, and thank you for joining the conversation. You are welcome to rejoin anytime you'd like. So thank you, Mike.
I'm looking forward to it.
Take care. I want to thank you, our audience, for joining us today. Now, this was a touchy subject, absolutely. But you know what? Mike's got some great information for you and a great product. You will also get a chance to meet Mike at CLIC 5 live and in person on October 5th at the JW Marriott in the Anaheim Resort. And Danny's got that scroll going down at the bottom. Don't forget the promo code. Save yourself some money. CLIC 5, CLIC, all uppercase. So I also would like to thank our production partners, Red Roof Franchising and Chicago Titles National Commercial Services Group, California, for their support in helping us put together this show. And I always want to thank my wonderful producer, Danny, for everything that she's doing. And, you know, we're getting ready to wrap up our 4th season. We've got some really interesting stuff planned for season 5, but I can't tell you about that right now. Danny and I are still working on it. So anyhow, thank you again for joining us. And remember, be kind, share your knowledge. Now go be amazing.